Hello friends, hope you are doing well. In the last video we saw about fundamental data structure, that is we saw about linear data structure as well as a non-linear data structure called trees. In this video we will be continuing fundamental data structure, that is we will be studying about non-linear data structure. In that we will be studying about what are these trees and types of trees, and also we will be studying one last data structure, that is sets and dictionary. So let's start now. When you listen the word tree, what comes into your mind? Yes, maybe a tree like this. Yes or no? So there is a tree here. What all this tree has? It has roots, it has branches, it has leaves. Yes, so many things a tree has. Same way, our tree data structure also has many of the property like this. Now let's see these properties. Now let's see about tree data structure. So tree is nothing but a connected but a cyclic graph. There should be no cycles in the graph, and it should be connected. Connected in the sense every vertex will be reachable from any other vertex. So it will have only one component, that is nothing but tree. Tree will not have multiple component. It is a single graph and it is acyclic. So for example, here is one graph. Can you see this tree? This is one example of tree because this is connected, and can you see there is no cycle here, and everywhere every vertex is connected by an edge. That is, can we reach F by B? Yes. Can we reach D by A? Yes. So every node is reachable by every other node. So it means it is a connected graph, and tree has many properties also like your graphs. So first property is the number of edges in a tree is always less than the number of its vertices. That is, number of edges equal to vertice minus 1. So this is very important property for the tree. That is, always you will have edges 1 less than the number of vertices, and this property is necessary. But if this property is true, we cannot tell it is a tree, but this is a necessary property. But if this property is true, we can tell the graph is connected. So if any graph satisfies this property, that is, number of edges is equal to 1 minus the number of vertices, then such graph is called a connected. Now let's see a forest. So what is this forest data structure? When you hear this word, what comes to in your mind? Maybe something like this. Yes, this is your forest. So what will be there in forest? As you can see, a forest will have multiple trees. So in your forest data structure also it is same. So instead of having one graph, you will be having multiple graphs. So your forest will have multiple trees. So it will be not a single graph but a disconnected graph having multiple components. Now let's see forest in detail. So forest is nothing but it is a graph that has no cycle, but it is not necessarily connected. That is, this forest will have multiple trees. So it has no cycle, but it will be connected, and each of this connected component is a tree. So this is one example. As seen in the diagram, we have two trees here. Yes, both are tree is nothing but it is acyclic and connected, whereas a forest need not be connected. That is a difference between a tree and forest. Tree will be a single graph, forest will have multiple graphs, like this it will have multiple trees. Hope you have understood tree and forest. Now let's see one variety of tree, that is rooted. So in rooted tree, we have to select one vertex as your root. That is, it will be at the topmost level, and then other vertices will come below it. So they are given, select an arbitrary vertex in a free tree and consider it as root of the so-called rooted tree. A rooted tree is depicted by placing its root on the top. That is, the root will be at the top, then the vertices adjacent to the root level will be at 1, then at level 2. Now let's see one example. So this is your free tree. So if we consider A as root, so in the first level A comes, then in level 1 D, B, E comes, then again go on following. In level 2 the children of B will come, that is G and C. So the answer will be as you can see, I have taken A as root, so it has connection to B, D and E. Then again to B what is connected? C is connected, G is connected, so that's what we have here. And to D nothing is connected, so D has no children. E is connected to F, so we are connecting that. Then again C is connected to H and I. Now H has nothing, G has nothing, F has nothing. So your free tree has been converted into rooted tree. So now pause the video and consider B has one root and draw the rooted tree, and also for same example consider G as root and draw a rooted tree, and then continue with the video. Now let's see some of the application of tree. Tree are helpful in analysis of recursive algorithm, hierarchy and directory. And some of the terminology used in this trees are, one is ancestor. You have seen path in the last video. So ancestor of any vertex, say V, are all the vertices in the path connecting to it above it, and V is also called the ancestor of itself. So let's see one example. So if I consider this tree A, B, C, D, E, F. So here, so if I consider one vertex E, so any idea who are its ancestors? All the vertices connected through its path from this vertex to its root. So which are connected? A, D and E. E is ancestor of itself. That is nothing. So ancestor of E are E, D, A. Next is proper ancestor. In the previous example, we saw ancestor wherein the vertex itself was the ancestor of itself. But whereas in proper ancestor, it will be all the vertices above it excluding itself. So for example, if we consider this example and again consider E, that is proper ancestor of E, then that time E will not come, only D and A will be the proper ancestor. If I consider the proper ancestor of F, it will be E, D and A. Now next see what is a parent and a child. If we consider a edge in a tree, say UV, then V will be considered as child and U will be considered as parent. And the vertices that have same parent are known as siblings. Now let's see one example. So if we consider this tree A, B, C, D, if I consider D as a vertex, so its parent will be C and this will be child of C. And also if I consider the siblings of B, that is the nodes at the same end. So B has the sibling called C. A doesn't have any sibling, D doesn't have any sibling. So it is like brother and sister. So at the same level, if I consider one more graph, A, B, C, D, E, F. Now if I ask you, what is sibling of A? You will tell it doesn't have, because there is no node. Root will have no sibling. What are the siblings of B? That is, B has sibling C and D. Which are the sibling of E? That is F. So nodes at the same level are known as siblings. Next is leaf. So a leaf is nothing but a vertex with no children. So let's see. So if we consider this example, so find out the leaf nodes here. Yes. So in this leaf is nothing but that has no children. So leaf is D, this has no children, E and C. So leaf node of this graph are D, E and C. Next is a vertex with at least one child is known as parental. Next we have some more things called descendant and proper descendant. Descendant is nothing but if you consider a tree and following that, if a vertex is A, then all the vertex below are called descendant. So if we consider that vertex also, then it is descendant. If we exclude that vertex, then it is called proper descendant. Let's see that. So if we consider the graph A, B, C, D, E. So if I consider descendant of A, these are all the descendant. So A has descendant A, C, E. If I consider the proper descendant, then we have to exclude A and write C and E as the proper descendant of A. And next, when I consider a vertex, if I exclude that vertex and consider only the descendant, then it will give me a subtree. So for example, if I exclude A, then I'll get a subtree C, D, E as one subtree, then B as one more subtree. So like this we can have something called subtree. That is, when tree is cut into some parts, then we get something called subtree. So next comes the depth of a vertex V. It is length of simple path from root to V, and the height of a tree is nothing but length of longest simple path from root to a leaf. So let's see this depth and height with an example. So if I consider this example, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So depth will come for a particular vertex. So if I consider depth of H, it is the simple path from the root to H. So what is the depth? It will be equal to number of edges, or it will be equal to number of vertices minus H. So depth of H is 2. Now if for height is nothing but longest path from root to its leaf. Maybe this is one more. So what is the height of this now? Height will be longest path. So which is at the longest level? This. So it is 1, 2, 3. If this was not there, then the height would be 2. So that is the difference between depth and the length. Depth will come for a vertex, height will come for an entire tree. Now just pause the video and try to find the ancestor of F. So and find all the ancestor of F, proper ancestor of F. Then you have to find leaves of this tree, height of this tree, and what is the width of vertex H. Then find all the descendant of H, and find also, sorry, you cannot find descendant of H because nothing is there. Find all the descendant of A, find all proper descendant of A. So write this and post it in your WhatsApp. Now let's see one more type of tree known as ordered tree. So this ordered tree is nothing but a tree where its children are ordered. So and also all the children are ordered left to right. So there are different types of ordered tree like binary tree, binary search tree. Let's see them now. So what is this binary tree? So binary means 2. Yes or no? The meaning of binary is 2. So binary tree means what? It is a tree which it is also a ordered tree, that is wherein its children are ordered, and in this every vertex has either 1 children, 0 children or 2. That is maximum number of children allowed in binary tree are 2. So it can be 0, 1 or 2. Maximum is 2. Less than that is okay. It can have no children also, but maximum is 2. So here is one example. As you can see, first this is called root. So it has maximum 1 and 2. and next node again it has 2 children, whereas this has only 1 child and this also has 1 child. So this is called, this side it is called left child, this is called right child, and this node has only left child, this has right child. That is nothing but binary tree. So the binary tree with its root at left child of a vertex in a binary tree is called left right subtree, and same way for right subtree. That is, this side, this is your root, this side is nothing but left subtree, and this is nothing but right subtree. And since left and right subtrees are binary trees as well, so you can define binary tree recursively in your program. Next comes binary search tree. So what are this binary search tree? So here numbers are assigned to binary trees, but there is a method while assigning a numbers. That is, always this right subtree will have less number than left subtree. So for example, 9, if we consider root 9, then 5 is, so you have to see 5 is less than 9 or greater than 9. If it is less than 9, it will come left side. So next number might be 12. So 12 is greater than 9. So it comes right side. Next comes 1 and 7. 1 is less than 9, then 1 is less than 5. So it has come left side. Then comes 7. 7 is less than 9 as well as it is greater than 5. So here is its position. Next comes 4. 4 is less than 9 but greater than less than 5 but greater than 1. So it comes this side. So this is the thing we follow. That is, the number assigned to each parental vertices is larger than all the numbers in left subtree and smaller than all the numbers in its right subtree. So such trees are called as binary search tree. And this binary tree and binary search tree, they are used in plenty of application in your computer science. And also one type of this binary tree will have maximum 2 children, whereas in a generalized version of this is multi-way search tree. These are used when you have huge large data set and you have to do some traversals. So now let's see the computer representation of this binary tree. Okay, so this was the tree we saw now. Now how it is represented in computer? We cannot draw and represent this to computer, right? What we have to do? Yes, we cannot draw and represent this. So we can use something called linked list. So we can take some set of nodes. In a node, we'll have 3 parts. Middle one will be actual data. As you can see, this middle part is actual data. Then it will have 2 pointer. One is pointing to left child, another is pointing to right child. And initially this 9, okay, is a root, and its left child is 5 and the right child is 12. So it has both left and right child, so there is a pointer. Whereas 5, it also has left child 1, right child 7, but 1 doesn't have left child, so it is null, whereas it has right child 4. Whereas 4 is a leaf node, it doesn't have any children, so both left pointer and right pointer are null. In 7 also doesn't have left child and right child. 12 has right child, doesn't have left. And then 10 has 10 is the left child of 12, but it doesn't have left child, right child. This is how we present in the computer. That this, your binary search tree or binary tree can be represented by using some nodes. In the node, middle part will be your data part. Then you will have one pointer pointing to left child, one more pointer pointing to right child. This way we can represent it. This representation is inconvenient when the number of children are not same. See here, 9 has 2 children, whereas 5 has 2 children, whereas 7 and 10 has no children, and 1 has 1 children. This representation is difficult when the number of children differs. For this, to solve this problem, we have one more representation to do computer representation of this tree, that is first child next sibling representation. Now let's see what is this first child next sibling representation. So here the what will happen is, in the earlier, left pointer was pointing to left child, right pointer was pointing to right child, whereas in first child next sibling representation, left pointer will point to first child and there is no right pointer. It will all the right pointer of the first child will go on pointing to the next sibling. That is the difference. That is, here the left pointer will point to first child of the vertex and the right pointer will point to next sibling. So that is the difference. So there it was left means left, right means left, whereas here left pointer will point only to the first child, then will go on connecting. So let's see one example. So if we have this tree, then it will be like this. So A is a root. Okay. So A, you will write A and it doesn't have anything in this next siblings, so it is null. If it had siblings, you would connect here. Next comes B. So what is B? B is the left child of, that is first child of A. Okay. So if it is first child of A, it will be connected to here, that is left pointer. Next, which are the next children of A? D and E. So it will not come here, it will be connected to first child. First child of A is D, so it will be connected here, D and E. And C, D, whether it has first child? No. Whether it has sibling? Yes, that is E. E, whether it has first child? Yes, that is F. Whether it has this siblings? No. Next, C, B. B's first child is C. And then C has continuous G and F. That is there its second child. B's second child are G and F. Then C's first child is H and second child is I. So like this representation is done. That is, first child is pointed by left pointer and then to next all the other child of the node is this pointed by its first child's right node. So like this we can use this representation. So if we consider binary tree representation of the same one, if we tilt the previous diagram by 45 degrees, you will get a binary tree representation like this. That is, to A we had B and to B we had D and E. So like this we can convert a first child next sibling representation into a binary tree representation. Hope you have understood about tree. This was all about the tree. That is, we started with what is a free tree, then a forest, then what is a rooted tree, ordered tree, then we saw binary search tree and how to represent them in computer. That was, one was using the left child pointer and right child pointer, and one more was first child next sibling representation. Now let's see one last data structure, that is sets and dictionary. Sets you have studied already in your the school days, right? What is a set? Set is nothing but a unordered collection of distinct elements or distinct items. Okay. So what are the functionality you can perform on set? That is union of two sets, that is intersection of two set, difference of two set, many operations you saw, right? So that it can be also used in a computer science. So let's see what are the sets and dictionaries. So sets can be defined as an unordered collection of distinct item called elements of a set. So a specific set can be defined like this: S is equal to 2, 3, 5, 7. So this set has 4 elements. The set element can be unordered, but it should not have repeated element. For example, so if I consider this set, S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is equal to, if I consider one more set, S dash, if I rearrange, these both sets are equal because only the order differs. So it can be unordered, but I cannot have repeated elements like this. For example, if I have 1, 1, 2, 3. So 1 is repeated, then that is not, this is not set. This is called as bag or multi-set. That is a difference between a set and a multi-set or a bag. In a set, we don't have any repeated element. We'll have all distinct element. Whereas in multi-set and bag, we can have repeated element. So some of the important operation of set are checking the membership of a given element in a given set. So given a universal set, so we can see many subsets whether it belongs to the universal set or no. Then union of two sets and also intersection of two sets. For example, so if we consider a universal set like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we have a subset like this 1, 2, 6. So you have to see whether this subsets element belongs to universal set A. Then it is called it belongs. Otherwise it doesn't belong. 1, 2, 6. 1 is there, 2 is there, 6 is there. So a subset S belongs to universal set U. Whereas if I consider one more subset S dash and take element 1 and 9. Whether it is subset of this universal set? No, because 9 is not present here. That time we will tell S dash doesn't belongs to universal set U. Next, if we consider this union of two sets. So what is this union? So if we consider two sets, say A 1, 2, 3 and B 4, 5, again I can take 1 also. So if I consider, it is denoted by A union B equal to, that is all the elements in which are present in set A and all the elements present in set B. Only distinct element, don't repeat. So 1 is repeated, write 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is union of A and B. Then what is intersection? If I consider intersection. So what is intersection? Yes, if I consider A equal to 1, 2, 3, 5 and B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what is intersection? It is denoted by this symbol. Intersection of A and B are, which are common in this. 2 is common, 1 is common, 3 is common, 5 is common. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 5. This is your intersection of two sets. Let us see now how to implement this set. There are two ways. One is using universal set. Next is using bit vector. Now let's see an example on it. So here is an example. So this is your universal set representation. Now bit vector. What we can do in bit vector is you have to place 1 where there is a number for that, otherwise 0. So 1, is it present in S? No. So it will be 0. Is 2 present in 1? Yes. Is 3 present in this S? Yes. Is 4 present? No. Is 5 present? Yes. Is 6 present? No. Is 7 present? Yes. Is 8 present? No. Is 9 present? No. So this is the bit vector representation of your set. So in this video we saw basically two types of non-linear data structure, that is one is your trees and another is sets and dictionaries. So now let's see some of the important questions on this section. So one of the question can be, give the difference between sets and dictionary for 5 marks. Explain the rooted tree and ordered tree with example 10 marks. So these two questions are very important for the exam perspective. And the textbook I have referred for this video is Introduction to Design and Analysis of Algorithms, 3rd edition by Annie Levitin. Hope you have understood. So you will also have quiz related to this session. Please take the quiz. So any doubts you can post it. And hope you have understood today's session. And so far today we have also completed your first chapter on Introduction to Algorithms. So far we have seen in a previous video what is an algorithm, notion of an algorithm, important problem types and fundamental data structure. So many data structures you have studied. Hope you have enjoyed studying this. So any doubt you can comment it.
Data
So
structure.
until
That is,
then,
we'll
take
be
care.
studying
Thank
about non-linear data structure. In that, we'll be studying about what are these trees and types of trees, and also we will be studying one last data structure, that is sets and dictionary. So let's start now.